Hello everyone, this is Glenda and I'd like to welcome back all my crochet friends to my channel. Thank you for coming back. It's Stitch of the Week time and I had a special request to do the lemon peel stitch. So I worked up my 3 samples and I'm going to show you my samples and show you how to do this quick, easy stitch. So if you're new to crocheting and you're looking for a really pretty stitch that you just don't need a lot of effort, you can do this stitch. And if you're a more advanced crocheter and you just want one of those easy TV watching patterns to whip up an afghan or a sweater, this is the perfect pattern as well. So before I show you my samples, I need to give a special shout out to 3 new patrons of my channel. The first patron is Deborah Hager. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly because I am terrible at pronouncing names. So thank you, Deborah, for becoming a patron of my channel. The second one is Amber Spangler. Thank you so much, Amber, for becoming a patron of my channel. And the last one, I hope I pronounce this right. I believe it's Myra Acero. Myra, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you so much for being a patron. And if you would like to become a patron of my channel, you can click that link that's down below in the description box and it'll take you to the Patreon website and you can see all the details there. So let's get on with Stitch of the Week. I'm excited to show you my samples. So this is my first sample. You can see the texture in that stitch. Very beautiful stitch, and it's a reversible stitch, so when it looks like this on the front, it's going to look the same on the back. So very nice pattern. So that's my first sample, and this sample was made using Lion Brand's landscape yarn, and this is color number 201 Boardwalk. So you can see how that multicolored yarn works up into this sample. My next sample is the solid white. Now you can see the pattern a little bit better in this solid white, and for this sample I just used Red Heart Super Saver, and this is color number 311 white, just plain old bright white. And just look at that wonderful texture in this stitch. Just a little bit of texture, but just a beautiful pattern. This is the front, and when you turn it over, that's the back. So it's a reversible pattern. My third sample, I just fell in love with this yarn. So this is my third sample, and this one I change colors every 2 rows. I worked row 1 and 2 in white. I worked 3 and 4 in the color, 5 and 6. So every 2 rows I change colors, and this was the Red Heart white. And I bought some of the Red Heart Super Saver pulling yarn. This is what that yarn looks like. And look how pretty this works up. I just love those short bursts of color. And this again is the Red Heart Super Saver pulling yarn. And you can see the yarn here, that multicolor. And look how beautiful that looks. Just those little short bursts. Just looks like a little box of candy. It's just so pretty. I just absolutely fell in love with this. So just because it says pulling yarn doesn't mean you have to use it for plain pulling. You can use it for this. Doesn't that work up gorgeous? So those are my 3 samples. Now for this stitch pattern, it's a stitch multiple of an odd number. So you would chain any odd number that you want to the length of your desired width of whatever you're going to make. So with all these samples I made today, I used a 4 medium weight yarn and I used a size 10J 6mm hook. I just wanted to use that little bit larger hook and just have a nice flow to my fabric. So it just has a really nice drape. So those are my samples. So today I'm going to use Karen Simply Soft Stripes, and I'm using color number 19006 times square. And because this is such a simple pattern, I'm only going to do a small chain and a small sample because it is such an easy stitch pattern to do. So today we're just going to go ahead and chain 11. So I'm going to get my yarn attached to the hook and I'll be right back and we'll get this pattern started. I have my yarn attached to my hook and I just use a double knot. You can use whatever method you prefer. Now remember, with this stitch pattern, you need to chain an odd number. So I'm going to chain 11, yarn over the hook, pull through that loop on your hook. That creates your first chain. The loop on your hook does not count as a chain. So yarn over, pull through, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So for row 1, now you can choose the preference of how you want to start your first row. You can choose to go into the chain. Now I'm just going to show you, I'm not starting the pattern. You can go into the top loop of the chain and work your stitch. This is how I'm going to show it in the video. Or if you want that nice edge on the bottom, you can flip your chain over and you can go into the back loop. When you go into the back loop and work your stitch, then it creates a nice ridging. When you come around, it creates that double strand stitch that looks like the top of a regular stitch, which is really nice when you're trying to put a border on your work. So I'm going to rip this back out. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse anybody, but it is your choice. And I know sometimes when I do a pattern, people say I prefer to go in the back loops. So use whichever method you want. I am just going to work into the top of the loop. So to begin row 1, we're going to skip the first chain. I'm going to insert my hook into that second chain from hook, and I'm going to work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain. You have 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. You just made a single crochet. Now we're going to work a double crochet into this next chain. You're going to yarn over, you're going to insert into the next chain, yarn over, pull through that chain. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. You just made a double crochet. We're going to work a single crochet into your next chain. So if you're not sure where your next chain is, try to use your fingers and pull your stitches back out of your way. You'll see that next chain right here. Insert your hook into that next chain and work a single crochet. Yarn over, pull through that chain. You have 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. You just made your single crochet. Next, you're going to work a double crochet into the next chain, yarn over, insert into that next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. You just made your double crochet. So we're going to repeat that across our little sample. Insert into the next chain, work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into the next chain, and work a double crochet. And you're just repeating that across. Single crochet in the next chain, double crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, and you repeat that across to the end of your chain. Insert into the next chain, work a single crochet. Yarn over, insert into the next chain, and work a double crochet. Insert into the next chain, work a single crochet. I'm over to my last chain, and when you're working your piece of work, you should always end with a double crochet into the last chain across. If you did not come out to where it's a double crochet in the last chain, you did something wrong. You either chained an even number, you need to chain an odd number, or you messed up on your stitches. So you'll have to rip out and see where you messed up. So we're going to end with a double crochet into the last chain. Yarn over, insert into that last chain, work a double crochet. So when you look at your little sample, you'll notice that you started with a single crochet and you ended with a double crochet. And each row will be the same. You will start with a single crochet and you should always end with a double crochet. So now I'm going to work row 2 Row 2 is your repeat row. This is a 1-row repeat. So let's begin row 2. You're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work. You're going to skip that beginning chain 1. You're going to insert your hook into the top of that double crochet. So when you're looking at your work, if you're new to crocheting, if you have to pull your stitches apart, you'll see this is your first stitch and it's longer because it's the double crochet. You're going to insert your hook into the top of that double crochet stitch. You're going to work a single crochet. Remember, you're always starting with a single crochet. So when you look at your pattern, you'll notice that you started with the single crochet and you worked it into the double crochet. So when you work your pattern across, you're going to be working a double crochet into the next stitch, which is a single crochet. And then you will work a single crochet into the next stitch, which is a double crochet. So when you're looking at your work, if this is a single crochet, you should always be working a double crochet into that stitch. If you're looking at a double crochet, you're working a single crochet into that double crochet. So you're just working the opposite stitch of what you're going into. And I probably just confused you. I didn't mean to, but I try to give you pointers of what you're doing, especially when you're new. So let's continue with the pattern. You're going to yarn over, insert into that next single crochet, and work a double crochet. Insert into that next double crochet stitch, and you're going to work a single crochet. And again, we're repeating single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet across your row. You're going to yarn over, insert into that next single crochet, and work a double crochet. Insert into that next double crochet, and I'm going under the top 2 loops and work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next single crochet, and again, when you're looking at your work, the single crochet is a smaller, shorter stitch than that next double crochet. So insert into that single crochet and work your double crochet. Insert into the next double crochet and work a single crochet. Yarn over, insert into that next single crochet and work a double crochet. We're over to our last 2 stitches. Now when you're new, you may not know when you're looking at your work, it may be confusing because row 2 is the wrong side. It's harder to see the top of your stitches, so just turn your work and you'll see these last 2 stitches. You can see how those strands of yarn form that teardrop or heart shape. Those are your 2 stitches. Insert into that next double crochet and work a single crochet. Now we're over to our last single crochet stitch, and you always end with a double crochet in the ending single crochet. So yarn over, insert into that ending single crochet under the top 2 loops and work a double crochet. So again, when you look at your work, you started with a single crochet and you ended with a double crochet, and all you're doing is working a single crochet in that first stitch, double crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, and repeating that across. So I'm going to do one more row with you, and I'm just going to do the stitches and not get so detailed. So we're going to go ahead and repeat row 2. You're going to chain 1, you're going to turn your work. You start each row with a single crochet. You're going to skip that chain 1 space, insert your hook into that beginning double crochet and work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that next single crochet, work a double crochet. Insert into the next stitch, work a single crochet. Yarn over, insert into that next stitch, which is a single crochet, and work a double crochet. Insert into the next stitch, work a single crochet. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, and work a double crochet. And we're just repeating that across to the end of the row. Single crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next. Insert your hook into the next stitch, work a single crochet. And when you're looking at your work, make sure the stitch below is the opposite stitch of what you're working. So this is a single crochet into a double. Now we're going to do a double crochet into this next single. Yarn over, insert into that single crochet, work a double crochet. Insert into that next double crochet and work a single crochet. Now we're over to the end of the row, and if you're not sure, again, turn your work towards you and look for that teardrop. Yarn over the hook, insert under the top 2 loops of that last stitch, and work a double crochet. And that is all there is to doing the lemon peel stitch. Very, very simple pattern. So let me show you my samples again. I just fell in love with this yarn here. I can't help it. I just love those rainbow colors. And I just thought it was a very, very pretty sample with that high contrasting white with those rainbow colors. Great for a baby Afghan. And then you can really see the pattern when you're looking at this solid white one. You can see that texture there in that stitch. And remember, the front side looks exactly the same as the back. And then that's third sample I made with the multicolor. So I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy stitch pattern today. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the crochet fun. Happy crocheting, everyone!